Hello, everyone. Hi, welcome to a brand new Go West, our Pulp Cthulhu campaign. I'm Simon at Wandering DM. I'll be playing George Brooke today, the deputy. I'm gonna find my voice in a couple of seconds. And let's just go around the table, introduce ourselves. Who are you all playing? And I'll begin with our resident priest, who's right below me at the moment.
Yeah, my name on the internet is Thragan, or Quentin's my IRL name. I'm going to be playing Father Boris Makarov, and yeah, I'm excited. Lots of weird stuff always happens.
I don't know what you're talking about. Our next player will go with George's sweetheart? Maybe? Maybe not? We'll see what happens.
Confirmed, sweetheart.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Kelly, and I play Maisie, who's the young woman who runs the local general store, and who's doing really good right now. She had a great week last week, although there was questionable bits in the middle there. She's a happy, healthy, pretty sane. Unlike myself, who's not feeling very well today. But I am here, and I am excited for the madness. With
nice. With your awesome Cthulhu plushie. And then we have returning this week, after a brief period of being somewhere in the west, our bounty hunter.
Hi, glad to be back here with this crew, going into whatever shenanigans happens over here. Because I always return, and it's always some weird leap. I'm like, where? What's happening? Meanwhile, June just goes with the flow. Doesn't show that she's fazed by any of this. Just here to shoot things and intimidate and make sure that everything goes smoothly for us.
And last but certainly not least, the town's doctor, the, dare I say, best doctor in town?
You dare say the best doctor in town. Glad to be here for another week of what's going to be madness. Hopefully we can get June to shoot somebody this week. I really think that needs to happen. But doing well, so hopefully holding in there. We need to go find a body, apparently. Don't know where that's run off to. George, if you're going to shoot people, we should probably keep better track of them.
I mean, technically she's not dead then.
Maybe?
And,
or one of those things just ate the body.
That's a possibility as well.
like, whatever it is, I'm pretty sure we're not gonna like the answer. Speaking of the answer to that mystery, our keeper, Deirdre, how are you today?
I'm actually doing right well. I'm always look forward to Saturdays when I can drive some fine folk mad here on Go West. But apparently last week George dealt with his previous relationships in a might permanent manner. In a very public might permanent manner. But then apparently they done lost a body. Slight problem there. But as we do in Four Corners frequently, we wind the clock back. Maybe 20 minutes. June, it's an early morning and you're awoken by a sound that you are familiar with. It's the sound of a gun, the retort of a rifle sounding in town. And then, maybe 5 minutes later, another gunshot going off. That one sounds like a handgun. And they're right close, actually. Maybe across the street.
Yeah. So June this morning rolls out of bed again, trying not to wake up Pearl, but never works out. Either way, she this time she's in more of a hurry than the last time that she woke up and heard some form of shenanigans going down. So she's quickly pulling on clothes and grabbing her weapons as she makes her way down. And anybody she passes by, she's telling them to keep their heads low.
The street's right quiet. There aren't many folk out yet. It's real early, just not until 9 o'clock. The only people you see are deputy standing over someone on the ground. You see Maisie and the doctor. See the priest come out of the saloon, kind of stand there looking around. Then you watch George fire another gunshot into this person on the ground.
Yeah, June is not fazed by any of this act of murder or self-defense, depends on who you ask, I guess. This act of killing, she's not fazed by it. Yeah, she does her living by killing people, so she's she walks over as the gun's still kind of slung over her shoulder.
As you do so, I need you to make me a powers check.
Okay.
Yeah, welcome back, June. We've been all, like, mind controlled.
Hard success.
That's good. That's good. As you start to walk across the street, it feels slower, like you're trying to ford a river against the current. You know that you're moving forward and you're making progress going forward, but it's taking you longer and longer. You see things playing out in front of you. You see a conversation between George and Maisie. You see the doctor and George head down the street towards the Undertakers. You see the sheriff escort Maisie back across the street and down to the Coldwater Sundry store. You see the priest kind of shaking his head, looking very disconcerted. And you see a figure as you're striding, pushing against this current. You see the figure of what was a body on the ground, almost dissolve, fade somehow. And you see something else there, almost like a haze parts in front of you. And you see a tall, humanoid figure with a large head, giant fangs dripping poison down out of its mouth, and the hood of a cobra staring at you.
Cool.
Smirking at you.
Cool.
You roll me that sanity check, June?
Great.
Just shoot it.
That's good.
Can I shoot it?
You can. You can definitely shoot it. It will be at disadvantage because you still are moving slower than
Okay.
you are thinking.
Right.
Is that a 4 sanity loss?
Yeah, that's a 4 for your sanity, honey.
Great, love it.
As you stare at this thing.
Nope, that's a fail.
You go to fire your rifle. You lock down and you feel almost this resistance as you chamber the barrel. And you go to raise it and you feel it shaking in your hand and you go to fire and it twitches just off center of where you were gonna put your bullet. And the figure, this large snake human person, smirks at you, laughs, waves a hand at you, and disappears.
I don't like
Smooth.
snake people in this game.
No, you don't, do you, June?
I've already dealt with them before.
And as you start to get frustrated, maybe even a little bit angry, you realize that whatever current was you were fighting against has stopped. And there's the doctor and George and the priest talking about a missing body. Right in front of you.
Yep. Well, morning, gentlemen.
There!
June?
Why
I
did
wish
you-
I could say it was a good morning, Miss June.
It's good to see you up and about, George.
No. Thank you kindly, Miss June.
Well, care to explain the gunfire that woke me up this morning?
I'll leave that to George.
I had an old flame of mine that came looking for me here in Four Corners. She was intent on killing everyone I knew and everyone I ever cared for. And upon saying that, you know, George looks, side glances at Maisie. And says,
Who's not there?
oh, then side glances at Maisie's store.
Yeah.
I couldn't let her get away. Not again. Not a second time. So, well, after Mr. Covington shot a bullet through her shoulder, if I reckon, I went after her and she drew a knife on me. Knife what had the symbol of a snake on the handle. Do I still have it on me or did I give it to one of you?
The priest was holding it, looking at it, and managed not to prick himself on the pin in the
Yeah.
end of the knife.
So I'll show you this knife with like an intricate snake as a handle. And it's a very long knife, more like a dirk than anything. I had to shoot her in self-defense, and then, well, she was bleeding all over the place, so I thought to myself, might as well just put her out of her misery. Dr. Anders here said he couldn't save her, so that was like an act of mercy. Maybe a bit more than what she deserved.
She was all but dead, June. And she would have bled out. Not that I'm condoning anything, but I understand the circumstances.
Well, better be careful with that knife there. I don't have a good feeling about it. Did this old flame of yours, did she get involved in any form of strange snake things before?
I mean, I don't think she ever played with any of them weird snakes before, and She don't seem the type of person that would delve into the arcane and the occult, if that's what you're asking for. She did say she was friends with, Mrs. Bradford. Which we're starting to believe that everything wrong that's happening in Four Corners is because of the Bradfords.
I believe that we're more concerned with Genevieve.
Well, isn't
It's possible the other one does not know.
that could also be true.
The other one was also... Pause, Deirdre. Was the other one attacked that night with like the little fire mosquitoes?
Geraldine?
Yeah.
No. Geraldine was not.
She had disappeared from her room.
She had disappeared from the room.
Never mind. She's totally evil too.
By the way, George, do you inform Miss June about the name of the individual you done shot in the middle of this street?
Oh, I should. Her name was Jane Langley. Or, she went by the name of, something Lovelace.
Ah. The, cousin.
Wait, you knew her?
Well, I met her earlier, and she gave me a real off feeling, and now things are starting to fall into place. That knife. Remember that story I first told y'all when I came into Four Corners? The trip over here, strange church with the unknown and, well, let's just say, snake cults.
I thought that you said that you put that business to rest.
I might have put that particular branch of business to rest. Might have spread a little further than I thought it did.
June, roll me a spot hidden for that knife.
And she's just not on my side today. That's fine.
June looks at the knife and goes cross-eyed.
It's a real nice blade. Long, really well sharpened, clean.
And, again, I don't know how much you believed me that first time, but when I was walking over here after waking up from those gunshots, where that, body was, thought just disappear. And where it was, there was a, how to say, snake-like figure.
So that's the responsible party for stealing Miss Langley's body?
Either stealing, or perhaps the body was already stolen.
The snake people may be using her body, as it were. Maybe possession.
That's certainly a possibility. Or even just, fostering us, either way. Body's gone, the snake person showed up and tried to shoot it, but, got away.
I'm gonna need to go check up on Miss Coldwater. I'll be but a moment.
Alright.
So George is gonna go cross the street and
Yep.
check on Coldwater. Are the rest of you gonna stand around in the middle of this sidewalk and stare at two bloodstains on the dirt floor? Or are you gonna do something else?
Do you remember where Ms. Lovelace, or whatever she called herself, was staying at?
I believe she had a room over at the saloon.
Yep,
Maybe
that
we
George
should
fell out of.
go take a look in the room and see if there's anything that might be of importance.
I feel like that's a good idea.
Lead the way, Miss June. I'm right behind you.
I'll follow him as well.
Alright, so the three of you are going to go up to the saloon, to the room above the saloon, to find out what's going on with Miss Lovelace. George is going to go check on Maisie. Why don't we start with George and Maisie and then come back to the three of you as the camera follows a slightly... Well, what is George's mood at the moment?
I'm probably nervous and I'm fiddling with my hat.
Slightly contemplative, slightly nervous. George, as he approaches the door of Coldwater Sundries, see the sheriff leaning on a post against the wall. Did you take care of the body, George?
Body's been taken care of, Sheriff.
And Jimmy Patterson? He's not going to show up, right, George?
I
Make it
don't
a
think
point
so,
of
sir.
knowing- Good. I make it a point of knowing everybody that I well, everything about everybody I hire, George. Jimmy's not going to be a problem, right?
I don't think Jimmy's ever gonna be a problem to anyone.
I figured. Stay who you are. Stay right. Also, make sure, just between you and me,
What?
make sure that you don't get seen around this town for another 2 days. I got $100 on this, George.
What, you don't want me to stay in town?
No, I just don't want you to be seen walking around with Miss Maisie by her father for another 2 days. I got $100 on this, George.
Have you been taking bets behind my back, Sheriff?
Possibly. I have to have my entertainment somehow. I already arrested my own nephew and had him shift off to Santa Fe. Gotta get some positives out of this. Also, Ben already won 50 off me. I need to make some profit here.
Well, you know what, Mr. Covington? We can always sit down and talk about that bet of yours. I'll let you know how things go with Miss Coldwater after I've done purchasing my sundries.
Yeah, uh-huh.
And, because, we might be in need of funds at some point, and, if you really need that money, well, I'm sure we can get to some agreement between yourself and I.
Hey, George.
What?
We already have an agreement. It's part of that letter that you brought in when you were hired. Right, George?
And I'll look into
Hey,
Covington's
what?
eyes. I'll be like, I don't care no more, sir.
Well, then you're on the right track, George. Everybody gets a fresh start here. Don't make a mess of my town. You worked hard. You're doing a good job. Stick with it. And I'm gonna go check on Ben and the very nice Miss Isabel. Was that her name? I think it was. The doctor's sister. Gonna go check on her. Kind of claps you on the shoulder and walks by.
Oh, look at that. There's like people yelling in the private chat. I go in the general store. Bling, bling, bling.
There we go.
Yeah, may see what happens in the general store.
I'm here to purchase sundries and that's it.
Well, I think Maisie is kind of doing her usual cleanup behind the counter. Things have gotten very haphazardly thrown around in the store the past few days. Things are not as neat and tidy as normal, and so she's been dealing with her stress by cleaning. And as George walks in, she just looks up, probably from behind the counter, and she's like, oh, hi.
Hi.
Can I get you anything, or?
What is the first item within arm's reach that I have? Like, what's the first thing I can get within arm's reach?
Hair pomade.
Really?
No, probably. They're probably like candies, hard candies.
Sure.
Jar right on the counter.
I'll take a handful of hard candies and I'll put them on the counter. I'll be like, I came to purchase these sundries here, ma'am.
All right. And she goes to bring up the candy, and she's like, can I help you with anything else?
I wanted to know how you were doing.
I'm in what? It's been a couple days, George. It's this whole last couple days have just been a lot. I don't really know what to think anymore all the time, but
Rightly so, Miss Coldwater. It feels like we're going through hell right now.
yeah.
I just wanted you to know that despite what happened today on the street, you can still count on me to keep you safe from harm.
I mean, as much as what happened today surprised me, George, but, you know, you were keeping me safe, I guess.
I mean, that's true. If you want to look at it that way. I don't kill all the people I've been in love with, just so you know.
That is very comforting to hear. Although, you know, George, I don't think you should tell a young lady about all the people you've been in love with.
I mean, the list wouldn't be that very long.
How long is it, George?
There are only 2 names on it, and there's only one of them that are still alive today. One of them is my ma, and, well, the other one just sold me hard candies. George blushes.
And Maisie is like looking down at her feet, and then she like looks up.
That was inappropriate, Miss Coldwater. I apologize.
No, George, no.
I should go through the proper...
No.
Yep.
You should know by now that I have feelings for you, George. I'm not hiding anything very well anymore.
Do you have feelings for me? My heavens, I thought you were just being polite and all.
I didn't come by all the time checking on you just because I was being polite.
Oh, I was kind of passed out and having nightmares about drowning. I do remember hearing your voice at some point, Maisie.
Well, I was there quite a bit, and while it wasn't the most graceful way, I'm pretty happy that Ms. whatever her name is not around anymore. That woman bothered me at best, but
Oh, she was a snake, that one.
But I just think that we need things just need to settle down before I can manage to.
Oh, absolutely. I'm not thinking about, inviting you anywhere until we've solved this big old mess here in town. But I was just wondering if you'd be amenable to having a dinner with me at some point after we're done trudging through all the problems in town and all the snake people and the weird monsters.
I think we can do that. That would be nice.
I'm rightly looking forward to it, Miss Coldwater. I mean, Maisie. And
It's definitely okay.
and if anything, you can call me Robert. Robert Stone. That's my real name.
Well, you still owe me quite a story. It sounds like, Robert. But I think I'll keep calling you George in front of the crew until I get that story. Okay?
Oh, no worries. I think I've been called George more longer than I've been called Robert. But it feels good to have someone to finally be able to tell someone about it.
Your secret's safe with me.
Thank you, Maisie. Do you want one of them? Do you want one of them hard candies?
Sure.
I sort of bought them for you. Don't tell the person I bought them from. And scene.
You're muted, dear.
Yes, I know, I'm a hard professional. And on that level of wholesomeness that is quite uncommon in, well, these darker days, we're going to pan back up to the saloon and the second floor, where you see Edmund Reed standing in the hallway with the shotgun in front of an open door. Same door that the chef and George burst in not 15, 20 minutes ago, probably by this, maybe half an hour. He nods to you all. Gentlemen, Miss Chan, how can I be of assistance?
We were hoping to investigate the woman's room more.
I guess that's appropriate. I mean, I'm assuming that. What are you looking for?
Why she was here, for starters, and what she had planned to do. She was a non-criminal, from what George tells us.
That makes sense. The sheriff told me to stand guard. If you wish to look around, feel free, I guess. I'm going to assume that you dealt with the body.
Yes. The body is missing.
The body is... Somebody stole the body.
It appears that way, Edmund. We're not exactly certain.
Doctor,
Yes.
why would someone... I mean, I've heard stories about horrible individuals who raid graveyards and sell bodies off to various medical establishments. Is this one of those kind of situations?
I don't believe so. This is more probably an accomplice aiding Miss Langley. We're trying to find out if there's something in the room that may lead us to someone else that could possibly be involved.
Of course. I'll just I apologize, Miss Chan. I'll go put a shirt on and lead you to it.
Yeah. And June hasn't bat an eye at like any of it. She's like, whatever.
Yeah, he's got an undershirt on, and you can see the burn scars that go down his right side from about his collarbone down his arm, and you can see a little bit on the side of his torso as well. And he just kind of walks back to the other down the hall to room suite number 1 as he knocks twice, 3 times, then 2 again, and opens the door and then closes it behind him, leaving the 3 of you with this bedroom. So what would you like to do?
I'll start by seeing if there's any belongings of hers in the room, suitcase, anything
Mhm.
along those lines. So I'm guessing spot hidden or
Yes. The travel bags are relatively easy to find. You see 2 small cases, one right at the foot of the bed, one sitting on an armoire, not an armoire,
vanity.
vanity. Thank you. Vanity on next to that looks much smaller, next to a pitcher of water and a basin.
Okay, so success on the spot hidden.
So which are you going for first?
Let's start with the one on the vanity.
Opening it up, you discover it's mostly cosmetics, a large number of them, and it's also almost a level of theatrical cosmetics. There are darkeners and lighteners and shades and colors and pots and paints of all sorts and all colors. There's a small catch on the underside, and you find a small gold necklace underneath one of the little trays on the inside of this square cosmetic case. Pulling it out, it's a small Celtic cross. No bigger than your thumb.
I'll just put that in my pocket.
So, Father June, what are you doing while the doctor's investigating the deceased's cosmetics?
I guess I'll look at the other container bag thing.
All right. June?
I'm looking for any sign of that snake symbol.
All right. So both of you roll me that spot hidden. Success. Ooh, hard success. So, Father, as you're
Actually,
looking through...
I'll spend 1 point of luck to make that extreme.
You'll spend the 1 point of luck to make it an extreme. All right. You look down, Father, into this case, and you see very neatly packed number of dresses. All of them are black, as is appropriate for a woman in full mourning. Remembering that full mourning, if you're going by, the more high-end rituals, lasts a full year. You see a number of veils. You notice that the dresses are slightly different in sizing. And as if she would be able to adjust the shape that she presented as she walked through town. Whether that meant she was tightening her corset or loosening it and adding padding, the dresses were different sizes to accommodate such. You also find sewn into one of the oldest looking of the dresses. It's plainer. It's not as fancy as some of these others. It's almost a cotton basic. You find sewn into the collar a small medallion. It's a picture of the Virgin. June, as you're looking through this room, looking for anything that looks like any of the symbols that you've seen from any of the knife that you have in your hand, any other snake imagery, you find under the bed a large, not large, maybe a foot wide, small wooden box that has a snake winding its way through the head of the cattle, skull of cattle.
All right, let's open that up.
I need you to roll me a luck roll. As you go to open this latch, you hear at the last second, you're very well trained and very well aware of your surroundings, ma'am. You're used to being slightly paranoid, and just as you go to pull it, you pull your hand back as the latch, see a small pin extend out from it. And the latch opens. You open the case. There's nothing in it, but you see a bed for a necklace. And you see an imprint in this heavy velvet pattern that's designed to display this necklace. You see, almost because you went for that extreme success, you see a small snake impression in that velvet.
Yeah, so June will very carefully shut it again with a note in her head to open it only with something else, not her own hands, next time round.
Miss June, I am not so well versed in such things. Why would she have dresses of varying sizes of not her own body shape?
So, she's got different sized dresses.
Yes, it appears so.
The cosmetic bag here is filled with various shades of skin tones. I mean, it's as if she wanted to play another person or another something. It just doesn't add up.
Well, I mean, we mentioned that she may have been possessed. I'm starting to feel like a little more that this is a creature that can change shape.
So something that's trying to pass as human?
Right. For example, pretending to be a certain namely, maybe somebody else another day who's a little thinner, a little taller, and different color of skin.
Fascinating. We should. I mean, I'd say make someone aware, but who would believe us? I mean, aside from Dr. Adams.
George and Macy, probably.
Well, certainly. I mean, outside of our collective here.
Well, Pearl may know a thing or two, not much, I don't think. I think the only exposure she got to those snake things were about the same that I got. And she was the one who set them on fire in the first place.
June, roll me a just straight intelligence check.
Ooh. Not very smart.
Nope.
Father, what do you know about? And I'll pull the Celtic cross out of my pocket and show him. What do you suppose she would have this for?
That is interesting as well. One of these dresses has a small symbol of the Virgin Mary on it as well.
The cult that I came across, they were posing as a church.
What kind of church which religion were they practicing?
Kiana can't remember if I ever knew that.
You probably just shot them all before they could say anything.
Well, they introduced themselves as they were told to you to be members of a Catholic mission, a Spanish Catholic mission.
Right.
They were 3 priests and a nun.
Yeah, so she'll pass on that information as much as she knows. I don't pay much attention to that type of stuff, if I'm to be honest, Father, but pose themselves as holy people.
I understand. It is very peculiar, this woman. Or being. I believe that she probably was a woman in her history with George, but now, today, this thing might not have been her at all.
Well, it seems quite possible, or she went through quite the transformation.
Indeed.
Either way, I'm pretty sure whatever we're dealing with now ain't very human at all. Keep an eye out on a snake necklace, something like that. Found the case for it, but I haven't found anything about the snake. That's the necklace itself.
Certainly. I don't think we have anybody else new in town. I mean, other than my sister and her children, but I'm pretty sure they wouldn't be involved in any of that.
I believe we already asked them if they knew that Miss Langley was acting strange or not.
For player recollection, you have not spoken to Isabel since the night before. When the priest escorted her and the children back to the doctor's office.
When do you think we should confront Genevieve about our suspicions?
I suppose that's a question better gauged towards Miss Coldwater. Perhaps we should go ahead and catch up with Maisie and George.
Yes, we should see what those two are up to.
Nothing. The answer is nothing.
And June looks between the two of them, and it's just like, did something happen while I was away?
You could say that love is in the air.
Jesus Christ.
Well, looks like you got some new business for your father.
Let us hope that we make it there.
I'm going to hold on to the box.
You're going to hold on to the box. Doctor, do you still have the necklace?
Yeah, I didn't. I was just showing it to the father, so I'll keep that necklace. And
All right. Father, did you take the medallion, or are you just leaving it?
I'll take it.
All right.
Such things don't belong with those people.
Lizards, snakes, creatures.
Father, roll me an occult at advantage, because that's where religion comes in this system, and you are a priest of an adjacent religion. Oh, good. Hard success. You would know, sir, that the medallion sewn into the collar on the inside of a collar is for protection. Asking particularly for the Madonna to watch out for a young woman alone.
she was wearing the wrong dress on that day.
Wait, she was praying to Madonna? I killed a follower of Madonna?
Yeah, you're a horrible person, George.
Shit.
The Madonna.
Yeah.
Madonna.
Yeah. The Madonna, the pop artist from...
That hasn't been relevant since the 80s.
No.
The
not that one.
1780s.
Yeah. As a fervent worshipper of Lady Gaga, it was my holy oath that I took to rid the world of the fake idols. Anyway.
Well, that's a choice and decision you could make. Also, Father, you'd be aware that usually that symbol sewn in that way would be for a young, unmarried woman of virtue. Now.
I think this is like Roman Simon.
God. All right. But the three of you proceed outside. You acknowledge as you come out, Edmund's standing there. This time he has his shirt on and he's holding the shotgun. He's looks a little tired, and he looks at the three of you and says,
Does he have pants?
yes, he is fully dressed.
It's very important for the scene.
He is fully dressed in a full frock coat, well, not frock coat, suit coat and waistcoat, in a very nice blue and subtle purple checkered pattern.
I am glad to
With a very
see
large
you.
cravat.
You found your clothes.
They weren't hiding, Father. They were merely in the closet.
It was a figure of speech. As in, I am glad you are dressed now.
All right, Father. Didn't know I was bothering you. Was there... I'm very tired, Father. Is there something you actually need from me while I stand here and wait for the sheriff to come back? Or maybe George or someone so that I can go back to bed?
I think we are done here, but as for your watch, I think you should stay until George or the sheriff relieves you.
Of course I was going to do that. I don't shirk my duty, Father. Have a pleasant day.
You too.
Three of you walk out of the saloon. No one's still behind the bar yet. As you walk outside and down the street, you again hear just the beginnings of folk waking up and making their day. You hear children laughing in the schoolhouse. You walk down the street, the dry air stinging your face a little, to the Coldwater Sundry store, where two young folk who, well, they are in a public place. They don't need a chaperone yet. It might soon, though.
I don't need a chaperone.
Well, aren't you forward, sir? Shattering a young lady's reputation in that manner.
I'm confused.
We found some interesting items in her room.
What did you find?
I believe that I found various dresses that had different shapes and sizes, as in different people were supposed to be wearing them. I believe the doctor found makeup that you would wear in a theater act.
There was various shades of makeup. Doesn't make sense that they would be such varying degrees of tones and colors. I'm still trying to figure out maybe why she would have had all this.
All of that just be for disguises?
Possibly.
I mean, she was a con woman, essentially.
George, you had the most time spent. I mean, was this normal?
Deirdre, aside from what I wrote in my backstory, could it be part of their MO? Was this something that I would have seen of them, of the Langleys gang, doing before? Like conning people, disguises, and all that?
Maybe. But you will also recall that you received a wanted poster, sir, of a woman, tall, long, dark, curly hair,
Mm-hmm.
bright blue eyes, who was wanted for fraud and attempting to poison a man about 3.5 weeks ago. From
Yeah, I know.
Albuquerque.
But they didn't find any wigs, did they? And the wanted poster, I mean, it's in black and white, so skin tone isn't necessarily.
And there was no picture with the wanted poster, merely a description.
Oh, not even. Okay.
And the fact that they couldn't get her name, it was either June or Jane or Jocelyn.
Hmm. June, have you tried to commit fraud and kill a man?
I prefer to do things a little more straightforward than that.
Alright then. Since fraud is out of the question, I don't think her name was actually June. Must have been Jane, which was a real name. She might have just been a traveling con woman. Is there a way as a... Oh boy. Is there a way as a con man myself to know if that's what she is?
Based on the descriptions of the various sizes and shapes and the minor changes that were made to the dresses and the amount of cosmetics that were there, yes, this was a woman attempting to change her appearance subtly enough that it wouldn't be commented on as makeup, but enough that it would change what people would remember of her.
Yep, she's a con woman. I know their kind very well. Let's just leave it at that.
Alright, so a con woman that got involved with
With the wrong crowd.
worst kind, if I say.
Well, I mean...
You be trying to con the Bradfords then? Like, why was she going to see them?
That's something we might need to ask the Bradfords ourselves. Since I sorta ensured that Jane wouldn't be able to answer any of our questions from now on.
Well, I mean, Deanie's in town because it's during the week. She's teaching. You could always go ask her.
We could go and ask Geraldine.
Is Mrs. Sorry, the widow Bradford still in town?
I thought she went back to the ranch.
I think so too. Last I heard.
Yeah, just to make sure, Deirdre, because I'm a bit fuzzy on what happened to Richard. It was Genevieve that gave him the task, right? Okay.
Yep, Genevieve showed up at his room at 2 o'clock in the morning and sent him on his way to Gallup.
Yeah.
At Wingate at Gallup to retrieve an object.
So he would know, probably, but he's not here. Alright. Well then.
And-
Geraldine.
For-
Oh, blip, blip, blip.
For the rest of your information, the last time any of y'all saw Genevieve was when she was having coffee and snacks with Miss Nellie Connors.
But that was yesterday.
No, a day further.
A day,
yesterday.
a day before yesterday. Okay. So yeah, she might be back at the ranch.
Because the only person who saw her yesterday
Was
was-
Richard.
Richard.
Probably not a bad idea to approach Geraldine then, with her sister not being around. Maisie, you know best if that's a good idea.
You know, Deanie and I have been friends forever, so I'm sure I can at least ask her. Although, last time I asked her questions about her sister, it didn't go great.
Well, this time if we approach from the angle that someone might have wanted to hurt Genevieve, she might be more forthcoming.
George has a point.
I mean, I would like to catch her up on quite a few things that have happened the last day or so.
Oh, I see. Town gossip. Well then. I mean, if you don't need us to talk to Genevieve, Geraldine, we could, well, we could get our horses ready and, wait for you before going to the Bradford Ranch. I'm thinking that we should pay this place another visit.
I agree, George.
Well, I can go talk to Geraldine and be back pretty soon, probably. She does like to talk sometimes, though, so might take a minute. But I mean, I can let you guys know what I find. I can just, I mean, meet you back here or at the doctor's place. I don't.
George, should we go ahead and start getting the horses ready then, if you want to make a trip to the Bradford Ranch?
Well, I figure by the time we get the horses ready, it's gonna take about, I don't know, if we take our time, maybe like 15-20 minutes. That should give empty time. Look, we'll wait for you, Macy, regardless. So, maybe you can find us at the saloon?
Okay, that sounds good. Because I'll have to get ready to head out there with you guys, too.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, give me just a few minutes and I'll come back.
Alright, so the four of you, George, Father, Doctor, June, you're gonna go hang out at the saloon while you wait for Maisie to talk with her best friend and confidant.
I think that's the plan.
I mean, it would be very weird if, like, a deputy, a bounty hunter, a priest, and
would.
a doctor would follow Maisie around and just nod as she's asking Geraldine questions.
Sounds
we don't
like
wanna
the beginning
scare
of a
her.
great joke.
Alright, just making sure I understand what's going on. So the four of you are heading over to the saloon, which isn't really open yet, but go right ahead and sit down and enjoy yourselves.
Yeah, we can sit on the porch.
Yep. You're gonna sit on the porch. Make me a spot hidden roll. Anyone who wants to, or a listen check, either one.
Can we
For the
do
four
both?
who are going to the the four of you who are going to the saloon can do both.
All right.
Fail. And fail.
Success on both. Wow, the father with the extreme end and the fail. Oh no, that was Kiana.
So, as you approach the saloon, you see a figure kind of trying to hide himself against a wall. You hear the shuffle of his boots and the very low rattle of his spurs. Father, this is the gentleman you noticed earlier. He, is no longer sitting on the porch of the saloon, but he's holding that gun. Resting it, but it's not broken down. That rifle is definitely, well, June would definitely notice with that the hammer's pulled back.
And as I see this, I'm gonna point this out to George.
What?
Don't be too conspicuous, but do you see that over there? Isn't that one of the Bradford hands?
Make sure you don't stand in front of me or in back of me. Howdy, Warner.
Gentleman just kind of glares at you, George. You'd be aware of this gentleman. He seems to have a very negative opinion of you, sir.
I figure.
You might be aware of a gentleman by the name of Mr. Billows, who has a very negative opinion of your previous service.
Yep.
He also has a slightly negative opinion of the doctor, but he's better at hiding that. And his negative opinion of the doctor seems more personal somehow.
Are you also waiting for the saloon to be open?
Just waiting around, deputy. Just waiting around.
I'm fairly certain you don't need to have your rifle at the ready to wait around here. I think we got the piece well handled.
Heard gunshots. Was concerned.
I understand your concern, good sir, but I would appreciate if you would lower your gun. Probably uncock it, because, you know, one never knows when a stray shot might be flying about.
Never take a stray shot, deputy. Always put my bullet exactly where I want it.
Yeah, but have you ever dropped your pistol? I mean, a shot just fires all over the place.
No, I maintain my equipment. Take good care of it.
Then all the more reason for me to ask you to uncock that pistol. Well, rifle.
Certainly, deputy. Have yourself a fine day. And he just walks off.
You too.
Does anybody watch him go?
Yeah, I'll watch him go.
You watch him walk down the street, same side as the saloon, about 3 buildings down, settle himself up, leaning against a porch, pulling out a cigarette, start stuffing it and rolling it. Light. As he leans on the porch banister of the bank. And just kind of watches the world go by. But he's got the gun down.
I don't like that man.
I don't like him either.
Can't say I'm particularly fond of him myself.
But not liking a person's not a reason to put a bullet through them. Last I reckon.
Either way, I think we should keep a good eye on any dealings with the people surrounding the Bradfords.
Could not agree more.
Yeah, exactly. I think we should be a bit more cautious when dealing with anybody associated.
Especially Arthur.
I'm surprised you learned his first name.
I spent some time with him when we went out to the Bradford Ranch the last time. Very strange.
Arthur?
Strange. Wait. Maybe
Richard?
my name's wrong.
My
Who's your
other
character.
Richard! The other
Take that
king!
name and say Richard.
Yeah, okay.
It's only like the fourth name we'll add to Simon's list.
Who's that Richard fella? I've never seen him before. It's like him and I cannot be in the same place at the same time.
It's also very strange. You have not met him.
So, well, the four of you settle yourselves on the porch of the saloon. Maisie, you walk up the street, up next to the... Well, it's not two buildings down, and across the street from you is the schoolhouse, and you see standing there Geraldine. As you see the children start running around the schoolyard. She's kind of just standing there watching over them on the steps of the schoolhouse.
And Maisie will just like wave emphatically as she heads up there. And she'll walk up to Geraldine and be like, "Do you mind if I interrupt you? I've got all sorts of news."
Honey, I'm all about news, and they're just running around getting some energy out. It'll be good for them. I can just keep them a little bit later. It's fine. What news? Any news? I need news.
Well, for starters, I guess I'll start off with the good news. You know, George.
Ooh, George, like I said the other night.
Yeah,
George.
I mean, you may not have been wrong the other night. I wouldn't be surprised if he has to pay a visit to Daddy soon.
That quickly? I'm impressed.
Well, he has to, you know. If we wait, if Daddy finds out that there's anything there without knowing first, it might get real bad real quick. You know how it is.
Yeah. Didn't he shoot that other ranch hand who was bothering you in the, nether regions?
Oh, I don't know if that actually happened or if he just threatened it a lot.
I don't remember anymore. It was entertaining, though.
But yeah, so I guess that's the news number one.
I'm glad we're happy about that.
Yes, well, and of course I had to tell you before I told anybody else.
Of
You are my
course.
best friend, after all.
Yes. So,
So
give me details. I need details.
there's no details yet.
Did he ask you? Did he ask you to walk in?
He asked me for dinner at some point in the next couple of days, but there's no plans yet.
Did he at least give you something nice when he asked you? What flowers did he bring you?
I think you're asking a lot of poor George there, Geraldine.
I'm trying to maintain some level of standards here.
I mean, he did share some candy with me.
Well, he got you sweets. That's sweet.
Yes. It was very cute. He was very nervous. I was very nervous. Everybody was nervous.
Well, all right then.
Okay. So now you have tons of fodder to tease me with.
Well, I wasn't gonna. Now that you've given me permission, I'm gonna do it all the time. I mean, I fully expect when this becomes something much more important, and there are many years down the road, that I can inform everybody that you said yes to a gentleman who didn't even bring you flowers the first time he came calling.
Your standards are just so high.
I have to maintain something. Also, you could have just brought you like something nice, some wildflowers. There's some pretty ones over there.
I think it was a little bit more spur of the moment than that.
Okay, well,
Convenient timing.
all right, so-
Anyway,
okay, fine. What?
who's I met that woman that
What
was
woman?
visiting your sister, that Lovelace woman.
Oh, her. Genevieve talks about her, but I've never met her.
Yeah, what does she say?
Well, apparently they were friends. I don't know. I mean, they met in Albuquerque or Santa Fe.
When
Apparently,
was Genevieve in Santa Fe? How long has she known her?
apparently a couple years now. They write letters to each other, I guess. Back, remember when Theodore had that, big, they found that big mine and they got all that, mining rights, and they went down and they were celebrating, and apparently they met then in Albuquerque. Maybe it was Santa Fe, maybe it was Albuquerque. I don't know.
That was
They write letters. A few
I'm just
years,
surprised
probably.
I haven't heard about her before. And she's coming to visit. Do you know why she came all of a sudden?
As far as I was aware, the only thing that, I mean, I don't know her. I mean, last I heard, she was excited, and there was letters going back and forth about, they were real excited because, maybe Mrs. Lovelace was going to have a baby, and there was going to be, a big christening involved, and I don't know. I haven't heard in months now.
Yeah, I'm surprised that I'd never heard of her before, and all of a sudden she's here and asking questions and being around town, and she was asking questions about George, so of course I had to.
What was she asking about George?
She just wanted to. Apparently she knew him from before. It's a long story, but
How did she know George?
oh, I don't know. He still hasn't shared the full story yet, but she's not a very nice woman.
I would okay. What do you mean by she's not very nice?
She just said some mean things. That's all. And she was she was all up. George is awake now.
Oh, that's good. I'm
Obviously.
glad to hear that.
And
Well, I assume so if he was.
But before he was awake, she just wanted to talk to him and get all this attention from him, and obviously that wasn't okay.
Of course not. You weren't going to see George without a chaperone now, were you?
Oh no, never. The doctor was with me.
Oh, okay. Well, that works.
So, but anyway, so you don't know anything else about her?
Last I heard, I mean, apparently Theodore and her husband did some business together, I guess. And I mean, I don't, look, let's be honest, I don't pay attention to most of Jenny's friends beyond the fact that they're there. There's a reason there's about 7 years in between us.
Yeah, I mean, I had to at least ask.
Well, I understand that. You got to make sure you're aware of everything that's going on. Well, is she like a relation, or is she like competition?
Oh, I think she thought she was competition.
Oh, well, what does she look like? I've never met her.
Well, I don't know if she's around here anymore. I think she left kind of suddenly.
Oh, all right. Okay. But I should know what she looks like. What's she look like?
And Maisie would describe her to Geraldine.
Does she describe her accurately, or
Kind
Purposely
of
makes her sound ugly.
Yeah. Very generally, like this color hair, etc. like not a lot of detail.
Oh, she sounds absolutely horrid.
Yeah.
And she kind of glances at her watch. Do you mind if we do dinner? Maybe tonight, maybe tomorrow. I just
I'll
I need-
I'll pop by or send somebody with a note or leave you a note or something. I'll let you know.
all right. Well, apparently there's other news. I heard a rumor that you might want to know about.
Oh, wait.
But I mean, like,
now.
fine. I don't know everything. Everything, and okay, I do want to come and have dinner, but we'll do that separately. No, I heard that Jenny was buying properties.
I heard that too from Miss Nellie.
Well, not just Miss Nellie, she also bought out the Campbells, apparently.
That's quite a bit of land. No wonder she's been feeling so overwhelmed.
Honestly, I don't know what's going on.
Oh,
Every time I turn around, there's
more
More?
going on. Well, I'll let you get back. I'm sure you have responsibilities.
yeah.
But I'm glad we had this talk. It's been a few days.
Jimmy, no, you can't put that in your. I don't care what he said to you. You can't put that in his nose. Just stop. And she strides down to separate two young gentlemen from, well, two young boys from arguing about whatever's going on.
And Maisie kind of
So-
waves at her and heads out.
She just kind of distractedly waves back and just kind of see her herding the children back into the schoolhouse. It's like, time to get back to work, ladies and gentlemen. It's time for lessons. So, Maisie, where are you headed?
So Maisie would just head back to the saloon to meet with everyone else, I think.
All right, and as Maisie approaches the saloon, I think that's where we'll go on our break for right now.
All right. We will see you all in 5 to 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Actually, this is like made locally. It is actually cheese.
Oh.
Oh, okay.
Well, there is some actual cheese in it. There's cheese flavor and also actual cheese.
And now we're live at cheese.
And now we're live and talking about cheese.
I just thought it was funny. I was about to say it, but you were talking. Hey everyone, we're back talking about cheese and cheese byproducts.
Cheese and cheese accessories.
So,
As we dive back into Four Corners and Maisie's walking her way down to the saloon, and so Maisie, as you're approaching your four companions, what you looking at?
I mean, probably George. Making sure that he's there with them, seeing what he's doing.
What's George doing?
Looking back at her.
I shoot the dude that was acting strange. No,
Are
I'm
you?
kidding. that would destroy the whole thing, the whole ship. I think if George sees Maisie approaching, he's gonna try to play it cool. Emphasis on try.
He's a nice boy, as they say, but very nice look as Maisie walks up to the other four of you standing there. I need you all to make me a dex roll.
That smells like dynamite.
I'm using advantage because I don't trust my roll.
All right.
Wow, and that was not good.
I don't have any advantages left.
I failed across the board.
I do. Can I use my advantage?
Yeah, you still have you have 2 advantages.
So does June.
Oh, there it is.
And I'm gonna burn the luck I need to succeed on that.
12.
Ooh.
Yeah, 12.
Okay, so Maisie succeeds. George burns luck to succeed. Father succeeds. The doctor fails. And the bounty hunter is quite used to this. What you feel as you see Maisie walking up, George, is for a moment you think it's just your own mind, but then you realize no, the earth really is shaking and shifting as everything shifts to the side
What?
like an earthquake. And then, unfortunately, the doctor does not maintain his footing and falls out of the chair he was sitting in onto the ground. The father grabs onto the post that's shaken and manages to stay upright. June is absolutely unaffected by this. She's just kind of standing around looking what's going one way or the other,
Puts on her sea legs.
shifting as the earth shakes and rumbles. And you look out and you realize you don't see the street of Four Corners anymore. You don't see Lady Goodnight's or the church or even the schoolhouse. You don't see Mr. Billows standing on the bank, door, steps. All you see is vast, empty desert, stretching out as far as the eye can see. And where the eye can't see, you just see black rolling towards you.
What in tarnation? Nah, I mean, I'm not going crazy, am I?
No, I believe I am seeing what you are seeing as well.
I mean, it's like the world misplaced the whole four corners.
Looking around, are there any landmarks at all?
Roll me that nature, history, either one.
At least we have the bar, guys.
Yeah, where's the saloon?
Oh, none of these are good. This is not going to work out for it. Oh, damn!
Wait,
Sorry.
what?
Wow.
That is a very hard success. I am impressed, Maisie. The gods must be in your favor at the moment.
It's because she's next to George.
Possibly. You look out, Maisie, and you've lived here your entire life. You know Four Corners, you know the desert surrounding it, you know the roads out to the Bradfords and the mines. None of this looks familiar. And it looks like desert, like you're used to, and looks like New Mexico. Doesn't look like you've left. Not like the sandy desert of Egypt, as you heard about, but it's the hardtack and tumbleweed and low brush, the American Southwest. Doctor, would you roll me a intelligence check, please?
Certainly. And a hard success.
Doctor, you looking around and you're glancing around, and this doesn't look familiar to you in a physical sense. It doesn't look like any place you've actually been. But it does look like a place you may have dreamed about.
And I'm gonna look for a staircase anywhere. Is there anything nearby that we can see, or is it just open desert?
Roll me that spot hidden.
Success.
You see, kinda in the distance, in this, where that line of desert meets rolling blackness, see a flash of lightning. Illuminates a staircase going up a mesa. You feel something in your mind. I need everybody to roll me a powers check. George, you are really lucky. You get to make these at +2 now.
Oh, wow.
In this case. Wait, so, Doctor, are you using an advantage?
I'm not. I am actually using my strong-willed ability. So I'm.
Yes, that's right. You do have that strong will. So you get a +1. So George is a success. Doctor is an extreme success. Father is an extreme success. June is a success. Ooh, everybody succeeds. Ain't this fun? I love this when this happens. You hear in the back of your mind, Doctor, a voice calling to you. You opened the door, Doctor. Come to me. You all see a figure emerging, kind of framed against this black darkness, with large, it's silhouetted in these strikes of lightning. You do not currently feel compelled to follow them, but they are standing there. What would you like to do?
Now, I am of my own free will right now, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
You just hear the voice calling to you in the back of your mind.
I hear it. I'm hearing it.
What did you hear?
The voice. You guys don't hear the voice?
Not at this moment.
I've been here. I've been in this spot, and I'm gonna point over in the direction of the staircase and tell them. I've been in this exact spot. It was a dream, but it feels like it does right now. I mean, it's real. Like in my hands, I can hold it. I can see it.
Doctor, what happened in this dream?
Nothing's ever happened in the dream. I hear the voice, and it calls, and it wants me to go to it. I don't know what it is.
Do you know
But
where it
wants-
comes from?
Again, I'll point to over towards the staircase, or the direction of the staircase. Not sure if everybody can see that.
So it
But-
wants you to go that way.
Yeah, it's asking for me to come to it, to
Just
That way.
you.
I mean, apparently, if nobody else is hearing this, I'm
Do you personally feel compelled to go?
no, not at all. But this is the first time that I've actually, where it's never been a dream. Unless this is.
Do you think this might be something that happened at the Bradford Ranch, where we will wake up?
It's happened there, and I've had the same dream in my office.
Can I try something on you, Doctor?
Now, point of order, you don't recall it happening at the Bradfords.
Oh, this would be the dinner one. So yeah, you're correct. But the one in the doctor's office, I do recall. That was the most recent.
I think Maisie has kind of wandered up and maybe even has put a hand in George's because she's nervous.
Now George is nervous.
June has her gun out.
He's gonna grip Maisie's hand.
You're not gonna kill any monsters with Maisie's hand, George.
No, I mean
Firearm.
I'm holding her hand.
What are you, Maisie, gonna make finger guns and shoot the monsters? I don't think that's gonna work.
Doctor, do you have a moment?
I do.
I'm gonna try something with you. Would you?
Okay.
There is a stray cat. Do you have a piece of string anywhere? Or does anyone have a pocket watch that I can use?
I'll pull out my pocket watch. No, George, you be extremely careful with this.
I take it and I throw it. No. I'm gonna hold it by the chain. And I'm gonna make it start swinging from left to right. Now, if I recall correctly, I can use the hypnosis skill to sort of suggest a course of action to someone. In which case...
You can?
Yeah, I have the skill.
Here's a small minor problem for you, George.
Hmm?
The doctor has that strong-willed problem. You are actually going to have to roll for this one.
Okay. So what I want him to do is to wake up. And I want to see what's going to happen. So is it like a contested check, or...
It's going to be
How
a
do we do
contested check.
Okay.
Okay.
And
So is it
you get a
powers?
plus contested powers check. You both. So just do this one straight. Doctor,
okay?
both of you are just straight rolls here.
Straight power.
Ooh. You do actually fall into this hypnotic lulling of watching your watch in George's hand. He's open. You know that you can talk to him now or suggest something to him,
All right.
George.
Dr. Drake Enders, is it?
Yes.
Dr. Enders, I need you to wake up. This is all a dream and I need you to wake up. Can you wake up, Dr. Enders?
I can.
You open your eyes to see a vast open desert. George standing in front of you holding your father's watch, spinning it from a chain.
God damn it! No, I'm gonna give you back the watch. I'm not gonna throw a pocket watch. It's a lot too expensive.
So, this isn't a dream.
I think we're in here for real.
And I'm gonna draw my gun. I think we should all go towards the staircase, George.
Alright. Still holding on to Maisie's hand, George is gonna draw his pistol with his other hand.
So Maisie's standing to your left side then.
Yeah.
June is gonna take point at the front.
Did you bring Susie?
I don't have a gun, so yeah, we'll get him back or something.
Do you want to
Maisie
hang?
does not have Susie, but she does have like a pistol, basically. Or I think she has a revolver of some kind.
You start walking through this desert. It feels odd. You should feel hot or cold. You're used to the desert. You understand its weather, its patterns. You feel nothing. You see the rolling darkness start to ride behind you, consuming whatever the saloon that you were standing on. You see streaks of green lightning. Now, as you walk towards the staircase, you see this figure standing there and smiling, looking at all of you, waiting. It takes a while. You're not sure if it's 10 minutes or 20. Time seems immaterial, ethereal. You get to the staircase and the figure's standing on it, smirking at you. She pulls a cigarette out of a gold-plated cigarette case, flicks open a lighter. Told you I wasn't gonna kill you yet, George.
I'm gonna aim at her and be like, I shot you dead.
Well, you definitely shot something.
What
How
are
are-
you?
That is a question. But I want to be introduced, George. You haven't introduced me to your friends. I need to know who your friends are.
I would need to know who you are first.
Well, George, I have a name. You know it. Or should I call you Jimmy?
Well, it seems like one of us knows the other a bit better than the other knows the one.
Well, I mean, I'm quite sure we know each other both biblically.
Fellas and ladies, this is Jane Langley. She's a petty criminal.
Petty? George, there's no reason to be insulted.
Robber of banks and
True.
Well, from what I can see right now, consort with the devil or something.
I don't know that I would say the devil. And what do you mean by consorting with? We're talking about our level of consorting? Or are we talking about... And she kind of looks at where you're holding hands with Maisie. Your level of consorting.
Let us start with the first one.
I think I'm gonna hold onto her hand a bit tighter.
Maisie will squeeze back.
So what are you, Miss Langley?
What I am is not really a question. I am who I am. But what are you all doing here is the better question, Father. And apparently some people want to know what's inside certain people's heads. So, I was asked to fulfill a purpose, and, here to do my job.
Asked by who?
Oh, just some folk I know, who know me. And she blows out the cigarette. This time she blows it right in the face of our dear doctor and our dear Maisie. And I need you to both make me a con check. It needs to be hard or better.
Oh, come on, guys.
Oh boy.
You got this.
Con check, huh?
Yep.
I've got one more advantage.
I do too. And it's spent, but it's a hard success.
Unfortunately, Maisie, yours is not. Father, George, Father, June, you watch as this woman stands there and with a very fine dress, blows out a cigarette and right in the faces of George and Maisie and the doctor and Maisie, and you see both of them fall to the ground. Maisie, you see that large open void again. The vast emptiness. You see pinpricks of starlight. You see movement within those stars. Large, undulating movement coming closer and closer, reaching out for you through this large void of blackness, reaching out to grab you and pull you in. I need you to make me a dodge roll. You manage to pull yourself out of the way just as this large rope-like tentacle comes streaking out at you. You just step to the side and you look down and you see faces in that tentacle. Movement, like folk trapped in it, screaming out and desire to be rescued, but they can't. And you see the tentacle retract. And you hear a voice in your mind saying, "Show them the path, Maisie. Show them the path. Lead them to me." Doctor, you pass out. You see again this poor, poor boy on your operating table. You hear the distant thud and roar of cannons coming out. It's late. All you've got to work with now are lanterns and candles, and you're trying so hard to save this poor child's life. Do you succeed, Doctor?
Do everything I can to make sure this boy lives.
Roll me that medicine check, Doctor. This one will live. He might lose that arm, but he'll get up and walk again one day. He might even thank you for it, given time. and you start to drift off. So, Deputy Father June, what are you going to do when these two of your friends collapse on the ground?
June's gun is leveled right at Langley.
Well, that's quite rude. I didn't even try and stab you.
Well, let's just say I'm familiar with the type of smoke that you're giving off over there. Well as and with one hand, bring out the box and kind of just shaking it.
Ah, so you found my little carrying case. Doesn't it look nice? As she pulls her hair back and adjusts, you can see lying against her throat. And this dress is very, very fine, very well fit, but it's not black. It's very, very bright blue, makes her eyes stand out. And against that dress, you see a large ivory and jewel encrusted collar with a snake winding its way across and through them. I think it does wonderful things for my features now, doesn't it?
What have you done to them?
I did nothing to them. They're just taking a little walk.
Where?
Wherever they go when they take a walk.
I try to wake Maisie up.
How are you going to do that?
I think I'm gonna...
Yes.
Not his first reflex. I mean, I think the first thing he's gonna try is to hold her by the shoulders, shake her gently, and just, you know, talk somewhat loudly. Maisie! Maisie, wake up! Wake up, darling!
There's no response. You see a fluttering behind her eyes. Almost like she's dreaming.
They're
Why
in
would- Go ahead, Miss June.
Oh, yeah, I just turned to George and Father. They're in induced sleep.
Well,
I was a victim of one of them last time I saw it.
How can we wake them?
I don't know, I was the one who just woke up.
that's option number one.
What is option number 2?
Well, I could make you all join them. Or, if you're very, very kind to me, I could do it.
Kind how?
Well, I don't know.
We have, besides George, been very kind, I feel.
Oh, that's just George being George, and really it was nothing personal, was it, Georgie?
It was everything personal.
I mean, I don't know. Well, I mean, there's that. Hey, Joshua, was it personal, do you think? And stepping down from the staircase, you see a young Joshua Covington.
Wait, this one's not dead yet.
Mm-mm. But to the best of your recollection, he was being escorted by one Jensen Cade, tied up to Albuquerque, or, excuse me, Bay to stand trial.
Yeah. So has he been shot dead as well? Is that what's happening?
Oh no, he's perfectly fine. He's just as fine as you all are. And I wasn't shot dead. See, don't I look gorgeous? There's not even a bullet hole on me.
Where are we?
The better question, Doctor, would have been when.
When are we?
About 300, about what was that number? Joshua, what was that number again? Oh, I remember. You just stand there and keep quiet, honey. You do very well just standing there and being quiet. About 3,500 years before the founding of that dear Four Corners.
Why? Why are we here?
Well, they've got a task to do.
According to whom?
According to people that pay really well, don't they? I mean, this dress is really nice. And isn't it great? I figured out the best way to deal with Joshua. He just stands there and doesn't say anything, but he's right pretty looking when he does, doesn't he?
Is he under your spell as well?
Which spell, Father? This one or this one?
I don't think we can be nice to you. How about you wake them up now?
I mean, Doctor looks like... I think Maisie has a few more minutes before she's done having her little trip.
But they are going to wake up, aren't they?
Oh yes, they'll wake up.
Why shouldn't we shoot you now, as it were?
Go right ahead. See if it works as well for you this time as it did last time.
George is like a twitch away from shooting her.
Yeah, and June hasn't lowered her gun right now. Still held up to her.
Why would a woman such as you carry an item such as this? And I'll pull out the medallion.
Haven't seen that in years. Very long time ago, it was a very different woman, Father.
What happened?
Same thing that happened to everybody. I
No.
grew up.
You became a different person.
No, I grew up. Stopped believing in fairy tales and hokum.
And started believing in what?
Power and money.
That won't save you.
Yeah, well, it saved me a lot better than that would. Or did.
Miss Lanley.
Call me Jane. It's as good a name as any.
Miss Lanley. Considering your distaste for the non-material here, I'm a little curious. Do you have any idea what you've got yourself into here?
Oh, yes. I'm intimately familiar with what I've gotten myself into. I never make any choices without knowing about it.
Down,
George?
down to the, let's say, religion-adjacent stuff?
Oh, you mean the ability to do this? And as she snaps her fingers, Joshua just disappears.
We'll call it that, or your affiliation with, let's say, snake-like things.
Never had a problem with snakes.
Clearly.
Oh, she's one herself.
You should. It should be noted that June's gun is aimed right at the snake pendant.
Alright. I mean, it looks nice with my outfit, doesn't it?
Miss Lanley, are you just supposed to take us here, send us on a little trip, and then what? Disappear right after?
Well, no, first I need to figure out what they heard on their little trip. It looks like the doctor didn't go quite far enough, but I think Maisie did. The doctor looks to be coming round now, and... Hey, George, you might want to wake your girlfriend up.
Maisie, wake up.
And you hear through the darkness, Maisie, and the large, voiceless screaming of these faces trapped in this large, inky tentacle. George's voice. Calling to you.
Maisie! Maisie, wake up! Maisie, come on, darling.
You open your eyes, and the doctor's slowly sitting up next to you. And you open your eyes
Thank
to
God.
George holding you in his arms.
I kiss her.
That's a session, guys.
What is Maisie's reaction to that?
I think she like freezes, but she doesn't pull away. She's just kind of shook.
That's good. I need you to roll some sanity anyways, so it kind of makes sense about how shook you currently are.
Temporary insanity, she picks my gun and shoots me in the face.
It's
I
very
can't
nice.
like not fail right now.
Yeah, that's true.
You'll lose 4 sanity.
Yeah. Now I can fail.
Now you can
Do I need to
fail.
roll that as well, or just
Nope,
me?
you don't.
Okay.
Just Maisie. And now George is so forward. Did you at least buy her flowers first?
Hi, Maisie.
Oh, hi. Oh, hi, George.
Yeah.
What happened?
You might not want to look at what's going to happen.
Well, what's gonna happen is she's gonna tell me everything she just saw.
I turn around
Right,
and I
Miss-
shoot her again.
As you go to fire a gun, the bullet goes off and just hangs midair about 2 inches in front of Jane's face. It's a very nice try, George, but doesn't really work that way here. Or more accurately, it doesn't really work that way when I don't want it to work that way. By the way, your sheriff shot me in the back. That's quite rude of him.
You don't think it is rude to bring us here against our will?
Now,
You
technically,
didn't even ask first.
I didn't do that. That was not me. I'm just the one having the conversation and the arranging everything as it's supposed to be. Joshua, darling. And she snaps her fingers, and now Joshua's standing behind you, George. Be a dear and hold George still. I need to talk to his girlfriend for a moment. And he's probably going to be cranky about it and all these things. Maisie, I need you to make me a powers check at disadvantage.
I want to step in between.
Yeah, can I help George? Like, not be restrained?
You feel something try and take your mind, Maisie, and you just kind of shake it off and
Oh,
nope. There she is.
Sorry, I meant to unmute and I clicked the wrong button in my haste.
it's okay. Let's just take a quick second to reset the cameras. It's going to be just fine, everyone.
But I want to be the priest.
Quentin, now's your
No.
chance to play Maisie.
Oh, yeah.
Your turn to get all the
George.
smooches.
Look into my eyes.
Oh, Maisie.
This is like when a fan takes over like a canon work, it's just like smooch.
Right.
Fanfic.
And then we fade to black, and then we come back.
How can
Yeah.
we make this canon?
So let's just turn off the cameras for a split second. And then we'll have Deirdre, Kelly. Was it Quentin, Kiana, and Scott?
I'm last.
Quentin, Scott, and Kiana. Thank you.
There we go.
Alright, we're back.
Sorry. My bad.
No
Entirely.
worries.
As
Um,
you feel this thing trying to sneak into your mind and take it from you, George, you are grabbed from behind by Joshua Covington. June, who you're trying to step in between.
I trust George to be able to take care of himself. I'm stepping between Maisie and Miss Langley here.
Okay, she hasn't moved, but so you're just going in between where she's looking then.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Father, Doctor, what are you doing?
I want to help George struggle, I assume.
So I'm awake on the ground, correct?
You're awake, starting to stand up. Yeah.
Okay.
You got awake a half second before Maisie.
So in the position of things, where am I in regards to George being restrained?
He's off to your left.
Okay. I'd like to, as I'm getting up, reach for my Bowie knife and attempt to stab Mr. Covington.
Okay, so the doctor's going to stab Joshua Covington. Maisie, you feel this thing trying to take your mind and you're fighting against it. George, what do you roll me that attack, Doctor? George, what are you doing?
Well, I'm gonna try to fend off Joshua Covington.
Do not have any more advantage. Okay, so brawl.
And I'll say, don't make me shoot you like your pa did.
Oh no, that's not good.
He just stabs
You've
George.
never
Yeah.
met my father, you idiot.
Uncle, whatever. And I'm gonna...
All right. Well, he's going to try and keep hold of you, and he's ignoring the doctor for now because apparently the doctor is doing whatever.
The doctor's just flailing in the wrong direction.
He just like
still out
throws
of
a
it,
knife
the whole
off the
passing that thing.
stairs.
So I need you to make a strength check.
It's a success.
You pull yourself out of Joshua's hands, and he's just like, "Why can't I shoot him?" Because I don't want you to, Joshua, and you can't do what I don't want. And realistically speaking, he's not the one that I really need to worry about at the moment. This is most problematic. Well then. June, are any of you going to do anything else?
I am. So I'm standing directly in the view of Jane to Maisie, just because she knows that these people have weird fucking powers and shit, and can, especially when they make eye contact, or have direct eyesight.
June puts on her aviators.
So she again has like put herself in the way, and again has the gun aimed right at the chest where that snake pendant lies.
Alright, so I need you to make me a contested powers check.
Whoo boy, I'm gonna. Okay, I'm gonna use the.
You
the
still have two
advantage here.
advantages.
Yeah, I'm gonna use an advantage here. Fuck, I'm gonna spend that 8 luck.
Oh, that's good, because she was about to win.
Yep, I know, because you rolled a 23.
And you feel in your mind a voice trying to say, "Put down the gun, June, and come walk over and join us."
And as I hear that voice, June just gives a wide smile. Well, last time I saw somebody try to join you, he got quite the talking to by his own wife. So I think I'm going to stay over here and stay on the good side of my own partner. And I'm going to shoot her,
All right. You fire
aiming
that
directly at the pendant.
You fire that shot right at the pendant and it stops 3 inches in front. And she goes, "That's quite. I don't like this. You keep shooting at me. Honestly, George, was I really that mean to you?"
I mean, I really don't know what you expect us here, Miss Langley. Bring us here in unfortunate circumstances, try to get into our heads. I feel like that just causes hostility, doesn't it?
I mean, I was just trying to have a conversation with some people.
A
And realistic-
conversation that you're forcing.
Well, certain people don't want to talk to me, do they, George?
Alright. And I'll get up with my hands up like this. I'll take a step towards Jane and I'll be like, "Alright, Jane, enough playing. If you've got any trouble with me, you pick your problems with me and not with the rest of my friends."
Now, admittedly, George, my issues with you are personal. My issues with the other folk here are, well, except for Jane. Or June. Whatever your name is, honey, with the gun that just shot at me. That just became personal. But everybody else is just business. Just personal, not my personal business. It was just business.
As she's talking, is she looking at June?
She's kind of standing on the stairs looking at all of you.
Okay, how far away is she from me?
About 30 feet.
Alright, I'll keep going closer.
So you start walking up the stairs?
Yep.
All right.
You're gonna have to make a choice, Jane. It's either you take care of your personal issues or you take care of whatever issues the snake people have.
I really think that's an impolite term, George.
They are snake people, we have seen them. They are half people, half snake.
Well, I don't know. Which one came first, the snake or us? Apparently the snakes. Serpent sounds much more polite, doesn't it?
Well, it depends which school you've been to, because when I was in Sunday school, I was taught that Jesus put all them bones of serpents all over the earth.
Yeah, but we know that that's a whole pack of lies, don't we, George? Putting our faith in crosses never served us well.
I put my faith in my iron, and you know that.
How do
Got
you
over
know
that.
Genevieve?
She's a personal friend. Met her a few years back.
A personal friend who can also do this?
I don't know that she did this.
Could she?
I have no idea.
Did you meet her through this higher power you're serving?
Possibly. Possibly not. You want to know about Genevieve, Father, you gotta talk to her.
I was
Not
trying to before you rudely teleported me here.
Again, I didn't do that.
But you were here.
Oh,
If
I
you
am.
didn't do it, then allow me to speak with the one who did.
Okay. And you see her face just kind of go quizzically for a moment, just kind of. I don't know that you can.
How can you, but not me? What makes you more special?
Oh, I'm just special in all kinds of ways, Father. Maybe when you walk the path, you can gain that enlightenment.
I'd rather not. I've chosen my path.
Well, it's a path you're gonna take.
Can
She snaps her fingers and Joshua disappears again.
I want to try something crazy, but it's crazy.
She's
So-
just staring at you.
She can do
As you
magic,
walk.
right?
That you have seen so far, yes.
Yeah, okay. Now, out of game, I know that you can use the Cthulhu Mythos skill to cast spells. Like, regular spells, not the ones that are in the book. Like, there's like 2 or 3 different things you can do with it.
Yep.
The way George sees it, and with all the, like, nightmares and dreams he's had of people fighting for his soul or whatever, could George use what little he knows of his Cthulhu Mythos to try to cast a spell? Like, he's at the end of his
Yeah.
rope right now, and he doesn't know what else to do, and he really wants to make sure his friends are safe.
What spell does he want to cast?
That's what I need to check. That would be in the Pulp book, I think. Give me just a quick second. I know it's in the description of the Cthulhu Mythos skill.
He wants to cast Charm Person.
My money's on Fireball, please.
Yeah.
Okay, it's cause physical harm, banish a monster, commune with the recently deceased, commune with long-term dead, create a physical ward, or comprehend a mythos language.
Mm-hmm. Which of those does he wish to do?
Huh?
Which of those does he wish to do?
I wish to banish her away.
Okay.
It says here I need to spend magic points equal to 1/5 of the monster's POW and a d4 sanity points. I must then succeed in an opposed Cthulhu Mythos versus POW roll against the monster.
Okay. That's a lot.
So this is the Hail Mary here.
Yeah.
It is one giant Hail Mary.
So when George fumbles this whole thing and gets, banished himself, where does he go? Like,
So here's something else. George, I need you to roll a straight occult first.
I'm gonna burn the 10 luck points I need to succeed. So what does it do?
You would, thinking about this and thinking about this idea that's in your head,
Mhm.
you could try it, but you know that you are protected by an entirely separate entity, and this is not their domain. So it would become harder to use their powers here. You're protected by that entity and cannot be harmed in this other entity's domain, but by the same token, you can't use their benefits either.
Wait, I can't be harmed? Like, I understand that I'm sort of protected?
You're protected in a power sense. It's why you have advantage, a +2 on all of your power checks.
Okay. So then I think that instead, the Hail Mary, instead of being casting a spell, is I'm going to rush at her and try to get that pendant off of her neck.
I need you to make me a powers check.
Alright, but first, someone just donated 500 bits to spin the wheel. Thank you, Other Doc, and let's spin that wheel right before I die, because of course this is gonna happen. And we have a special! What was the special effect for this game, Deirdre?
I believe we talked about the fact that there was when you had the special, you were given an immediate blessing, which was a gift from the gods would appear in your hand, which is actually very appropriate as George rushes up into trying to snatch that pendant from around Jane Lane's neck. You feel yourself pushed forward, George, as if there's water flowing behind you. In this vast empty desert. You rush up the stairs and you feel yourself be pushed through something that you're almost positive was a field of force of some sort that would have protected her and not let you get any closer. And now you are right up there to grab it. if you can, as she's going to try and dodge out of the way.
Well, hope I roll high enough, people. I'm gonna burn the 7 luck. So I succeed and
good.
she fails.
She fails. You grab this necklace that's around her throat, and she looks at you and goes, George, you really don't want to touch that. I really don't recommend it.
And I yank it off of her.
Before you do, I need you to make a dodge roll as she grabs it up to your head.
I don't know. Where's my dodge? Oh, come on. I'm burning the luck.
You're burning the
17.
17 luck.
Yep.
You grab this necklace and pull it, and you realize it's not a necklace.
Wait, what?
It's a collar around her throat.
Did I just choke her to death?
No, she comes towards you and she goes, like I said, George, you didn't want to touch that. But if you really want to be that up and close and personal, George, I can be. And she's going to reach out and try and pull your head in to kiss you.
I tuck my lips in. Like this.
While you see what's going on this staircase, as George and June are having a very intimate discussion. Or Jane, George and
Not June.
Jane. Not June. There's Jane. There's George.
That's
there's
a whole different fanfic.
Yeah.
That isn't real. So Jane, George, Maisie, the doctor, June, the priest. What do you do? And
I
I guess I'm watching George.
well, so Maisie has gotten up at this point, and I think when she sees Jane lunge for George, she would just kind of call out, like, I'll tell you what you want to know.
well, that sounds right nice, darling. Give me a minute. I gotta talk to George. He's putting his hands where they don't belong again. Let it go, George.
I'll say I shot her. I shot you once. And then I press my revolver against her tummy.
And she puts her hand on your chest and goes, sorry, darling. Have a nice trip down these stairs. And she shoves out at you. But what comes towards you is not a little shove down these stairs. I need you to make a powers check. Or excuse me, a strength check to see if you can stay upright.
Alright. Could I also... If I fail the strength check, I'm being thrown back. Probably beyond the wall of force, right?
Yep. And down the stairs.
Could I argue with you that I'm gonna try to shoot her since I'm beyond the wall of force and thus fail my strength check?
You can at disadvantage.
Alright, I'll
Worth it.
try it.
Gun goes off.
Wait, so which number should I use?
The 88.
The first one? So 28 points of... I can't! Damn it!
Well, that tells me something else as well, George. She puts a hand, it's like, have a nice trip, George, and shoves out, and you feel yourself pushed back, down the stairs. You feel almost like you should be falling or tumbling. You've seen folks shoved on a staircase before, George. Backwards, you should be hitting your head at least 6 or 7 times.
Mm-hmm.
But you're not. It's almost like you're being carried, almost gently, and set down.
I got feather
Amazing.
fall, yo.
Maisie, darling. Why don't you tell me everything I want to know?
Don't do it, Macy.
If I tell you, will you tell us how to get back home?
I honestly have no control over that. I'm just here. The welcoming committee.
Just because you don't have any control over it doesn't mean you don't know things.
Apparently, if you give me what I want, you just. Things might go back to where they were. Maybe. I guess.
Why would we give you anything?
I've already proven you can't do anything to hurt me, Father.
She's
And I
kind
can do a lot to hurt you.
Prove it.
Maisie, are all the men that you know this... I mean, like, I know George. I'm intimately aware of with knowing George. But are all the men you know this,
Foolhardy?
less than sane?
I'm beginning to think so.
Well then, you really want me to prove it, Father?
I nod.
I don't perform on command, darling. It's not my job anymore.
Apparently you do. Something is telling you what to do. Where is your own free will?
Telling men to take a giant step off and ignoring anything that comes out of their mouths when I don't want it to. Actually, I'm quite sure that I think you should be quiet, Father, and not talk anymore. And I need you to make me a contested powers check.
I think as long as we're in her realm, there's not a lot we can do.
Have fun.
Wow.
Use advantage. I got this. I don't got this.
Oh, wow.
Do be quiet, Father. It's a better look for you. Actually, it's a better look for most men of my experience. Maybe you should join Joshua. That might be entertaining.
Just, how about we talk lady to lady and everybody calms down a little bit?
I'm quite calm. Happy to hear anything you have to say, Maisie. Actually, She snaps her fingers and a quill and a piece of paper emerge in front of you. I'd rather have you write it down.
And Maisie will write down what she saw, but not what she heard.
Do you want to bring it to me, or do you want, Well, I know. Joshua, bring that up here, please. Maisie, you know Joshua real well, don't you?
Yeah, he's been a thorn in my side for months.
You want to roll a psychology on him?
Yes, please. Oh, 14. Yeah, let's do it.
We're burning everything tonight.
I have quite a bit.
Well, you see, for the first time in your recollection, Joshua Covington is not staring at you uncomfortably. In fact, he's trying real hard not to even make eye contact with you. Bring it up here, Joshua. There's a good boy. And he takes the paper from you. You do anything?
Is there anything about the way he looks that's different? Like, is he wearing anything different, or?
His clothes look the same, but you notice a very large band around his throat.
And she will hand him the paper, but try and grab the collar
You go and reach for it, and you realize it's not actually there. It's almost like it's tattooed around his throat.
And she tries to basically hide it by just like putting a hand on his face and just like, and asks him, like, Joshua, why are you doing this? Why are you here? What did you do?
You have it, Joshua? That's good. He's real useful when he's quiet. He's also real entertaining. Almost as entertaining as you were, George.
Oh, you're right. I'm not in pain. I was like, I dropped down 30 feet of stairs. No, wait, that's true. I got carried down. Alright, you got what you wanted, lady. Bring us back home.
Well, thank you. I do appreciate it. And that's very kind. And quite sure you can find the saloon right over there. Have a pleasant day. Might even see you again. Maybe. Maisie, we'll have to talk. I mean, we just need to have ourselves a bonded moment when you decide what you think of George. We'll call. I'll call on you. It'll be fine. And she just kind of turns and looks at George and says, told you I wasn't going to kill you yet, George. Have a good night.
I'm gonna
Bye.
kill her so bad.
So you want to shoot at her?
Well, no, I know it doesn't work.
And you see her start to walk up the stairs, and all of a sudden there's a flash of green lightning. And the stairs are gone. And the desert is gone. And you're standing in front of the jail? Almost? 4 of you. Or 5 of you. And you look up. And it's much later in the day. The sun is shifted. And I need you all to make me a sanity check.
No shit. Time to fail. No.
Oh!
So if you succeeded, you only lose 1 sanity, because I was really low. If you failed, you lose 4 sanity, because I rolled really low, apparently.
I'm gonna spend my luck and not lose that 4.
And as camera settles on the 5 of you standing in front of the jail, as the shadows grow long in the afternoon, you see the sheriff and Dr. Adams start walking towards the 2 of you, 5 of you, from the direction of Dr. Anders' place of business. And that's where we're going to end it for tonight.
I'm gonna fucking
So,
blow
how
up this
everybody's
place.
doing?
Fucking snake people.
Ah, I swear to God.
Okay.
I swear to your unresponsive God, Makarov. He didn't protect us from anything.
We are still alive. That is what matters. He protected us from death, I think.
Are you sure? Because I feel like the donations protected me more.
It actually.
All
That
God's
was-
will.
Yep. That was a good show. That was
We're
a good
calling
episode.
Other Doc a divine entity now.
Yeah, Other Doc is now the divine entity. So let's go around the
I don't
table.
know how I feel about an other Doc Divine entity. all go insane.
So, before we do outros, tonight was our second to last episode for this first season, this first story arc of Go West. We will be back in 2 weeks for the finale, so there won't be a show on April 23rd. However, one of us...
March.
March 23rd. I'm already in April. There won't be a show on March 23rd. However, I know that one of us has something special on next Saturday, so I'll let that person talk about it. And we can all go and encourage her.
Yep. And
Aha.
but we will be back on the 30th.
We will be back on the 30th for the finale of this portion of Go West, and we'll be back after that 2 weeks later to start anew. But you'll see the whole schedule. I'm posting it this week. I know I said the same thing last week, but I had to make sure everything was properly slotted. So this week you should see the new schedule for the next season of shows on Wandering DM. So, outros. Let's start with our good keeper.
Well, good evening, y'all. You know me. I'm at Deirdre Donlan on Twitter, or Praxagora Thesmophoria, as you see me hanging out in the Twitch chat. You won't see me here next Saturday as I drive these fine folk mad, but I will be back in 2 weeks. Tomorrow, you will find me over on Katie Face's channel for some honey heist shenanigans. The takeaway from last week's game is a honey badger with a hairspray flamethrower bouncing on a grizzly bear's stomach to kill bees. Yes, that image is exactly what you think it is, and you need to go watch the hilarity. And then Sunday evening, we're over on Soul Bear RPG for the wonderful Shattered Eye as the Shattered Fam deals with the fallout of their political choices. Monday, I'm back here as Simon's in charge for some dark matter fun, and the doctor is not at all concerned about bringing a temporally displaced person to a resort planet. Not at all. And other than that, I want to thank everybody. If you haven't seen it yet, we really appreciate it. The Uncaged Anthology went gold in its first 24 hours and is still sitting at the top of the...
Real
Yeah.
close.
We're real close to platinum in the first week. It is really good. We thank you all for it. It was a great deal. Thanks. But other than that, find me on Twitter. I know always post where I'm going to be.
All right. Next up, Kelly.
Hi, I'm Kelly at aKellyLane on Twitter. You can find my pinned tweet there for my full schedule. The highlights are Tuesday, Wednesdays. I'm over on Scraticus, playing Curse of Strahd Tuesdays and Dynamo, which is a Weave game. So different system on Wednesdays. You can also find me there next season. Announcements happening soon. No spoilers here. But next Saturday, since this lovely group won't be getting together, you should also check out over on the Academy. They're doing one of the Academy days where it's a bunch of new DMs get to play and learn how to run a game with some more experienced players. So in the, I think it's the 1 to 4 EST. I can't time zone in my head right now. Slot. No, it ends at 7 EST. So it's the 4 to 7. I don't remember. Anyway, you can find it in my pinned tweet. I'll be in a game there, and someone very special to me is running it. It will be a Call of Cthulhu one-shot. So check it out. Cheer us on.
All right, and let's move on to Scott.
Hey, it's at Berserker Rage on Twitter. You guys can find me here on Saturdays, although it won't be here next Saturday. So look forward to seeing everybody on the 30th for the finale. So just prepping for that, and a few other little things that I have that aren't quite together yet, but hopefully will be soon. So as soon as they are, you can find out more on that on Twitter.
All right, Kiana.
I hate snake people. They were the things I dealt with in that first ever game of Go West, and they suck. So
It's almost like it's all one story, Kiana.
I know. You beautiful mastermind. I really enjoy this. I can't believe it's almost the season finale. Hopefully we actually get to do things and not be at the whim of people and their freaking dreamscapes. Blah. But you guys can find me over on Twitter at Kiana S. Best way to figure out what I'm doing, because I'm over the internet playing role-playing games almost every day of the week. Of course, we won't be here next Saturday, but I will be on that stream later on this month. And as well, if you're in Toronto and you're at Breakout Con, I'm going to be there tomorrow. I'm actually going to be on a panel tomorrow. It just got scheduled and announced. So if you want to see me talk about diversity at the table, come out and hang out with me over there. And yeah, we'll see what we do and hopefully not go mad at the end of this.
All right, our last player, Quentin. You are muted.
Biggest takeaways from this: George and Macy kissed.
Yep.
Big win, big win. Best thing in the episode. Yeah, again, Deirdre, Simon, everyone, I have a great time every week. Simon, thanks for having me. I'm on Twitter at Thragon. I don't do a whole lot on the internet, except for Simon asks me to play games. But again, just like last week, pyramid scheme. Follow these guys and then get a friend to do it, then get their friends to do it, and just map it out, because they're all like super wonderful people. So do that. And then I'll pass to Simon, up or down.
Good. I'm Simon at Wondering DM. Thanks everyone for coming. Thanks for hanging out in chat. Thanks for watching. Thanks for playing. And thanks for keeping the game, Deirdre. And we will see you, like I said earlier, in 2 weeks for the season finale. And right now we're going to go raid our good friends at Encounter Roleplay. The illustrious Grant Ellis is game mastering Unrestful Hearts in the Garden of Glory. With a bunch of cool people, so let's just go ahead and raid with, let's have our raid call be something like Snake People. Let's go with Snake People. Alright, and on that I will see you next week. Bye bye.